got 3, 2, 1. We're at 1. We're at 1! Climate, and more climate on today's episode. From Qatar to Canada, toss out your skates because we're about to break the ice. This is the Canadian Rielity.
Canada.
Our top story tonight, climate talks at the Doha Summit wrapped up last week, and guess what? We did it! We did it. 194 countries signed on to the Doha Climate Gateway, extending the Kyoto Accord. The international spokesperson for Friends of the Earth relayed environmentalist excitement regarding the deal, saying, quote, "The Doha deal is as empty as a desert mirage. Yes, it was a glorious victory for inaction. Despite a push from members of the EU and a coalition of developing nations, the delegates came away with a resounding message of, and I believe this is an exact quote, even we weren't naive enough to hope in the first place." Climate change. The big surprise coming out of Doha was New Zealand's decision to pull out of the summit. New Zealand's climate minister, Tim Grosser, cited the fact that those who remain committed to the current climate arrangement only produce 15% of total emissions, saying this was reason enough to consider the summit useless. Stating, "You cannot seriously argue that you are dealing with climate change unless you start to tackle the 85% of emissions that are outside Kyoto." This deal covers so little of the issue at hand, Grosser was embarrassed to admit he originally mistook it for Rihanna's latest performance attire. Yeah. 15%. That's Augusta National Golf Club exclusive. This isn't the Doha Climate Gateway, it's the Doha Climate Gated Community. Seriously. With the progress that's been made since '97, these countries should probably start building seawalls before the rising sea levels ensure there's no community left to gate. Moving on. Here at the Canadian Rielity, we understand you value news bites, and now you can have them entirely context-free. It's better for the colon. Welcome to Headlines. Noted climate skeptic Lamar Smith was named head of the United States Congress House Committee on Science. He responded, "Stop calling me names." Critics say this is a slap in the face to science. I say it's time for science to be a good Christian and learn to turn the other cheek. Environmental groups are stepping up the pressure to stop Enbridge from reversing the flow of Pipeline 9. When reached for comment, Enbridge responded, "But money! But money!" Now, I don't know what kind of middle-aged 1970s dating scene these Enbridge execs are living in, but in today's world, it takes a little more than just money to convince someone to let you reverse the flow of a well-established pipe. 2012 was on pace to be the 9th warmest year on the record, despite La Niña's cooling effects. Now, this news rubs me unpleasantly. We're humans, top of the food chain. Tigers ain't got shit been world champs since Noah's Ark. And I demand that each year be number 1. Step it up, humanity. Speaking of being number 1, 15 years after Kyoto was signed, 2012 will be a record-setting year for carbon output. Researchers estimate that it will hit levels of 58% above 1990. When accepting the award, 2012 said it was a team effort, that it kept its eyes on the prize, and that it couldn't have done it without all the work put in by the past decade. What a sweet, sweet sportsmanlike gentleman. And finally, Canada dropped to 58th out of 61 nations at the climate index based on our response to climate change. In this race to the bottom, we're only behind Kazakhstan, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. Upon hearing the news, Harper scheduled a photo shoot with an ice floe, but had to cancel when his aides couldn't find one. Well, that's it for the Rielity. Good luck, and as always, good night. Should I have said pipe?